Welcome back to Pickleball Journey. I was playing a rec game the other day and I noticed my partner and my opponents weren't doing this, and it's something that I love to do quite often, and it's called dinking out of the air. If you're not doing this, it's holding you back, and we're going to show the advantages to dinking out of the air. I'm going to share with you 3 tips on how to dink out of the air. Number 1, make sure that your paddle is not too open. So a lot of times when you're taking the ball out of the air, the ball is going to be coming faster than if you were to allow it to let it bounce. You let it to bounce, the ball hits the ground, it slows the pace down so you can hit it and dink it. It's easier that way. Hitting a ball out of the air, the pace is a little bit faster, so you need to make sure you're controlling that paddle face and not keeping it too open, because it's going to come off your paddle a lot quicker. So when we have that paddle way open, it pops the ball up and then we're done. So make sure that when we're hitting that ball out of the air and dinking, that our paddle face is majority forward towards our opponents, and there's a slight open face to it, not very much. And what we're going to do is making sure that that face is forward and then just moving that paddle forward.
This video is sponsored by Carbon, but more on that later.
All right, transitioning to that next tip, like I was talking about with moving that paddle face forward, we don't want a lot of swing speed on the paddle. So a lot of times we get antsy and tight, and all of a sudden we'll kind of flick the ball or move our wrist really quickly. This allows for too much acceleration of the paddle into the ball, and it pops the ball up. So what we're looking for is using the pace of the ball that's coming at us to bounce off our paddle and maybe give it a little bit of momentum forward, basically this much. That's all we're looking for. So if we're just doing that, we're able to dink the ball out of the air and get it into that kitchen line. Now, if they're in that transition zone, we're gonna give it a little bit more. We're gonna roll the wrist over like so, okay? And so that's gonna get the ball to the kitchen, or to the transition area, okay? So a lot of this has to do with how fast the ball is coming. So make sure if they're driving it, okay, or they're hitting a little bit faster drop, that you're doing it a little bit slower depending on where you're trying to go. And if they're doing it very soft or drop soft, then we're giving it a little bit more. So there's always that ratio of back and forth, but making sure that we're erring on the slower side so that we're not popping that ball up so they can crush it. So last tip to taking this ball out of the air is making sure you have a sound body. So we're very calm and we're stable. A lot of times when we have big guys on the court, or they're very intimidating, or they're good players, we get antsy, we flick our wrists, we get tight with our muscles and stuff. This creates a perfect storm to be able to pop that ball up. So what we want to do is stay calm, keep our body still, make good clean contact, and move smoothly. We want to keep our muscles relaxed. This is really important mentally to keep yourself calm for those touch shots, for those soft hands. So if you're able to do that and keep yourself calm, a lot of those other aspects and tips that I was talking about are gonna fall into play a lot easier. So make sure we have that calm body, relaxed muscles. You're gonna be able to hit that dink out of the air a lot more effectively.
Before you go, be sure to check out Carbon Pickleball and use code PBJourney10 for 10% off any paddle or Carbon Pickleball gear.